Hi guys, welcome to my podcast. My name is Nicole and I'm the brains and the beauty behind Yarn Craft by Nicole. Today my featured make is the Shiloh cardigan from Emily Davies. She's known as Hooked Hazel on Instagram, and I believe that is also the name of her blog. So this uses a really pretty, almost decrease stitch pattern, and she has a Shiloh tee and a Shiloh sweater as well. And I love this cardigan, and I wanted to wear it today because this is the last like really nice day in Michigan before winter hits us. I think the high was like 71, and over the weekend it just plummets. I don't think we get out of the 40s. So I wanted to wear this because I don't think I'll be able to wear it much after this before spring comes back. But this is one of my favorite pieces, and I used crochet.com, Lee Crochets, kettle dyed hawthorn fingering weight yarn, and I love it. It was a really good decision, and it looks good over anything and everything. So I have a lot of projects, so I will start with the one project that is actually finished, and that is the Adamas diamond scarf. I keep trying to call it a diagonal scarf, but it's not. It's a diamond scarf from Stephanie Lansberry. She is a fellow YouTuber. Her YouTube is Stephanie's Yarn Escaped, and she sent me this pattern that she wrote and the yarn to go with it, which was very sweet and very kind. So I showed this to you last week right as I had started the decreases. And as you can see, the name suggests it's a diamond scarf, and it is indeed a diamond scarf. I like the way that this pattern is written. It's very clear. I wasn't lost at any point. And the pattern itself, like the stitch pattern, is very pretty. And she recommends a certain type of yarn. That is what she sent me. And the way that the decreases and the increases go up and down are very elegant. Like it's a very smooth transition. My one question is how to wear it. The pattern includes a picture of the scarf on the front and a flat lay with the yarn that they use, and but it doesn't ever show it on a model or person. So the best way that I could figure out how to wear it was to kind of fold it over on itself and kind of wear it almost like a kerchief. Let me get the folds to come down here like that. And then I have been kind of tying these off to the side a little bit, and then a little bit of little crochet cowgirl, if you will. And you could even tuck these up under here if you wanted to, so that you can kind of see the stitches a little bit better. There might be other ways to wear this. I played with it, trying to figure out the best way to wear it, and this was the best way that I could come up with. But if you've ever made a diamond shawl or a diamond scarf, let me know in the comments below, and let me know of other ways that you can wear this. But this was also a very quick project, so if you like this, check her out. Her name, like I said, is Stephanie Lansberry, and I'll put that in the description below as well. So that's my finished project. Now I get to show you all of the other projects that I have, which are a lot. So I'm going to start with something that I'm not even sure if I should have started right now. I have been interested in the Hexagon crochet cardigan trend, where you take two crochet hexagons and you fold them in a certain way, and so that everything is symmetrical. So like the inside of the hexagon is right where the underarm is, and then you make it out from there. And it's nice because you can kind of be a little bit more flexible with your yardage, and once you've made one side, you can see how much more you would need for the other side. And I've tried to play with this concept before, and I just was not getting it. And someone that I really like, Knitting Tipsy, wrote a pattern for this which she called the Sexygon Cardigan instead of the hexagon. Like, that's real cute. And so that came out last week, and I bought the pattern for that, and I was like, oh right, like I've definitely been making the sides of the hexagons way too narrow. Like I get it. So really pumped about that, and her tester pictures were absolutely gorgeous. So I went into my stash to see what I had, and I had this beautiful, it's so pretty, fingering weight cotton from LaRue Cotton, and I have two skeins of this color, which is called Dark and Stormy, and I have one skein of this color, which I believe is called Nightfall. So I said, okay, I'll just do these for the hexagons, and then I'll do a little bit of the outside with this if I need more yarn, because this is under the yardage that I would need for my size. I can go back to LaRue cotton and then just pick another color, maybe a black, honestly maybe even a gold would look really pretty with that, from LaRue cotton, because it won't have to match per se, because I don't need it to match anything other than itself because of the way that this is made. So I started that and am loving it. So this is my hexagon so far. It is a very meditative pattern because it just gets bigger and bigger. So if I fold it the way that I'm supposed to, like this, that tells you about the size that I've got so far. So right now it's like kid size cardigan. And as it goes out, like the sleeves will get bigger, the middle will get bigger. So obviously I have some more to go. We'll see how far this gets me. I have a feeling I'll need at least one more skein, maybe two, but I really love the way this is working out. And I was really happy also to use something that I have in my stash, because the end of the year, I'm like really trying to de-stash as much as I can. The next two things I'm going to show you are gifts. So, Erin, or my wonderful mother-in-law, Sandra Michael, if y'all are watching, just skip ahead because these are presents and you can't see these yet. So the first one is for Erin, so don't watch this, Erin. And this, I think I showed y'all a couple weeks ago. Maybe that was on Instagram. This really pretty, really bright color from Loco. This one is called Strike It Rich, and it's got some kind of corally colors, some oranges, some yellows, some like highlighter yellows, some dark speckles. Very pretty. So I am making a shawl out of that, which is coming along really well. And I like the shawl because it is something that is simple and yet interesting and works up with one skein. So I'm only gonna give you like a little look at what this looks like, because I'm using a very similar pattern for a secret project that I'm doing with a yarn company. So really excited about that. It's working up really well and it's super soft. Like, I love this yarn. This is really nice. And I've had this in my stash since, I don't know, June. So I'm also happy to have a good use for it. So the next one is from my mother-in-law, and I got the idea from this because she really liked the tricolor linen stitch scarf that I made out of some yarn that was already in my stash. So I said, okay, I'm going to make her one, but I'm gonna make it as a shawl. And she lives in the Midwest, so this will be nice and warm. And so I went to my local yarn store, Spun, and looked around for some pretty darker neutrals and came away with these three absolutely gorgeous colors. I mean, come on. These are all from Malabrigo. They're all 100% superwash merino wool, and they're part of their Rios line. So this one is called Sandbank. This one is called Marta, M-A-R-T-E. And then this one is called Paris Nights. And oh my word, they are working up beautifully. And if you're saying, Nicole, that's gorgeous, can we get a tutorial? Yes, you can. I already have started filming a tutorial for this, and hopefully we'll be able to wrap it up once I wrap up the project here in the next couple of weeks. But really loving this, really loving the way that these colors play together. And what's nice about this is that you can just make this as big or as small as you want. Like if I was gonna put this on my dog Scoot right now, like I'd be done. I'm gonna have a cute dog bandana. Or if I wanted to make it for someone who is really tall or wanted an oversized shawl, I could do that as well. So I'm really pumped about that. And I'm just calling that the Color Triangle Shawl. And then the part that you've all been waiting for is my birthday sweater progress. First of all, I am keeping my birthday yarn in a gift bag as my project bag for this, which is fun. So I got a lot of work done on this actually, and I have already split for the sleeves. Granted, it's an off the shoulder sweater. So splitting for the sleeves and body is actually not that impressive, but it's at the stage now where I can try it on, which makes me happy. And I don't think last time I had actually started striping in the colors yet. So guys, this is it. Oh my word, isn't it pretty? I absolutely love it. Let me get in there closer so you can really see. It's got sparkles. It's got two of my favorite shades of blue. It uses this center single crochet stitch, which I had not done before, but I had seen before. And while I am not of the opinion that crochet needs to look as close to knitting as possible, and that's the goal, is to have knit-like stitches, and like crochet should look like crochet. Like if I wanted to knit, I would knit. However, even though these do look like knit stitches, the fabric of this is wonderful. It's got some stretch to it. I think it's gonna block beautifully, and it's really fun to do. So let me see, that's one sleeve, and this is another sleeve. So you can kind of see what that looks like. And I am loving the fit. I will love it even more when it's blocked. And I added a couple of extra chains when I connected the body around the side, just because I didn't want it to be too tight on my arms. I also added in some extra rows as I was coming down so that it would be deep enough for me, which are both tweaks that the designer, Knits and Knots, Janine Myska, suggests that you do in the pattern. Like if you want something a little bit shallower or a little deeper, you have the option to add some rounds there. So I am happy with it. I'm a little bit worried about my yardage just because I knew that I was under, I think maybe 200 yards. I'm gonna be under the amount of yards that is suggested for my size. Again, playing fast and loose with the rules. But I'm also okay with making it a little bit cropped and then making it shorter sleeves. So if I need to add a third color, I might at the bottom. I'm striping the two colors now really randomly, and we'll just work that way through. And then if I need to add either a black or a white or something like that at the bottom, I totally can. But really loving the way that this is working out, and really excited now that I get to try it on. And I don't foresee any issues of finishing this in time for my birthday. And it's fun to just have a birthday project. Never done that before. All right, next up, I've got Yarn Love. Yes, because those are all the projects that I'm working on. I did a couple more squares for the blanket I showed y'all last week, but no major progress on that. So the other thing that I bought when I went to Spun, Dad, if you're watching this, skip ahead, is yarn for a scarf for my dad for Christmas. I've actually never made my dad a scarf, and he's a bit of an Anglophile. Like I grew up watching Masterpiece Theater, and like he loves Charles Dickens and kind of that aesthetic too. And anyway, so I wanted to make him a two-tone Tunisian scarf the same way I made for my sister, but something that was a chunkier weight. And I went into Spud and I saw this new yarn that I had not seen before called Remix Chunky, and this is from Berroco. It's 100% recycled fibers, and it has nylon, cotton, acrylic, silk, and linen, and it is soft. Like, I am pumped to work with this. It doesn't feel silky soft like an acrylic would or something like that, but you can definitely feel in it that there's cotton, that there's a little bit of linen, and I'm really excited to work with that. So I've got two colors here that are relatively similar, and both of them have a little bit almost of a tweed texture, and so I think that this will look like a houndstooth together, and I think it'll drape beautifully. So I'm excited about that. I have two skeins of each color, and my goal is to just set a width and keep going until I'm done. So that is it for Yarn Love. I also, as a side note, bought this beautiful hook from Furls. I thought y'all should see it. Look at her, she's stunning. This is their, I think it's called Coffees and Cream resin hook, and I bought it because I don't usually work with chunky yarn, but I had this that was in my stash that I decided needed to become a tree skirt, and I didn't have a hook that was actually the right size. So this is gonna be a tree skirt. I think I have 5 skeins of this. I got on clearance at Joann, and I'm really excited about it. I had some other yarn that I thought what I would use as a tree skirt, but because there's so much of it that's green, I was like, well, it's not really gonna stand out from the tree, and this will. So pumped about that. And this is Big Twists Mellow with 99% acrylic and 1% polyester. It's got a little sparkle in there. So that was a recent purchase that I thought y'all should know about. I love a Furls hook. I love the resin hooks. They're really pretty to look at, and I like the way they feel in my hand. But since this hook is so much bigger than my normal hooks, it's kind of weird to not see as much of a like a narrowing around the neck at the top. Like this is the one that I'm using, which is obviously not a resin hook, for my fingering weight projects, and you can see it narrows a lot more because the base part is still the same width. So I'm really excited to work with this. And that, my friends, wraps up this week of our yarn chat. So I'm gonna leave you with what I can't let go. And what I can't let go of this week is just how incredibly proud I am of my husband. He's doing a lot of new things, and I'm really excited for what he's doing now and where he's gonna go. With that, I'll leave you, and I'll see you next week. Bye.